Psalms 18, verse 29 says, "For by you I have run through a troop, and by my God I have leaped over a wall." As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. Here are some really interesting pictures from Justice League. This is Zack Snyder in the background, and he is showing the Amazons how to fire their shots with the bow and arrow. And this was reminiscent of what Patty Jenkins was doing also with the Amazon. So it's very interesting seeing both of them being very, they enact the whole thing. They enact what they want the actors to do. And this is not only so, you have the screenshot here, Zack Snyder lining up a spear to throw it. And he's showing the actors what they need to do concerning the spear. Notice he's propping up the spear with his right hand, and he's setting it to throw. With his left hand, and he's setting it to throw with his right hand, which is very interesting. So, just an extraordinary director, Zack Snyder. Very giving, sharing kind of person. And Justice League is going to be all the better because of him. All the better because of him, you know. Guy's a real team player. Here we have a photo of Cyborg speaking to Batman. We've seen this in actually the very first Comic-Con. It wasn't a trailer, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. A teaser, maybe. Comic-Con teaser that was put out just for the fans. Snyder always trying to serve the fans, trying to give them as much as he can out of his heart because he's a fan himself. So these were the early inceptions of Cyborg. Here we see we were introduced to Barry Allen in the very first Comic-Con teaser as well. And then here is Cyborg. And man, Cyborg has evolved in terms of the CGI for him. It's such a fantastic looking figure right now. It looks like the metal is molded into his body. You know, it doesn't look as CGI-ish, which is really awesome. I gotta say, the CG department has done an extraordinary job in terms of getting the graininess for film, because this is a film, it's not digital. You know, most of the movies made today are digital made movies. They're not doing it on grain film anymore, and grain film gives a certain degree of realism you can't get anywhere else, you know. So that's to be applauded. For those people who are saying that they find that the DCEU films have a lot of CG in them, it's really amazing to hear them say such silly things, because to me it feels real. I don't know about other people, but it feels very real to me when I look at this. Now, some of the CG that I thought was out of place wasn't so much because of CG, but it was because of the color that they decided to use, the contrast. And in the last trailer, the final trailer, we saw that purple stuff coming out, which to me didn't fit into the story. It didn't fit into the scenery, and so it felt very fake, you know. But by and large, I've loved the CGI that I've seen in Justice League, and Cyborg is no exception to the rule. His CGI was a little bit off, but people were talking about I could only see a head and the rest of the CGI. I didn't see that. I saw the CGI needed refining. Now, when you look at this particular image here, it looks like a man melted with machine, and of course he is a machine and he's also human, so you're supposed to get that kind of feel, that kind of look. So I'm totally cool with what Cyborg is. And I've seen some, they featured Cyborg, AT&T featured Cyborg just recently. I'll leave the video link in the comment section below and the description. And man, that thing looks bang on. It really looks outstanding. I can't wait for this movie. And my favorite character of all the Justice League members is Cyborg. I really like Cyborg. I really do, and I think he's a sleeper. Here's Cyborg again. The CG not as perfectly well done. You can see the difference here between the CG and the actual person, which is here. So this CG is not perfectly well done, and it has to do with lighting and shading, how you do your lighting and shading. It's still a fantastic photo. Let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see it. I zoom out of this as well. I love that picture. It's just so epic. This one can zoom out. I'm zooming into this one, sorry. Let's see there. This one can zoom in a little bit more. So you can look at Cyborg and Batman. again, the CG here is good, but it's not complete. You can kind of see the sharpness with the metal here in contrast to Cyborg's body. But it's a damn pretty good job. Here, it's really good, I find. I find they did an excellent job here with the lighting. I think it's the lighting you have to get right. These CGs. Zack Snyder drawing the bow. Amazon in the background. Here, Zack again showing the Amazons how to throw a spear. Such cool stuff. And finally, we got Wonder Woman. This is an interesting shot. I hadn't seen this shot before. Here she is looking up at something above her. This could be the Flying Fox, because she seems to be dressed as if she was inside of Batman's Batcave or wherever he is. So I think she's looking probably at the Flying Fox at this point in time. Maybe even looking up at Batman, who's probably in the Flying Fox or above it or something. So I think that's the view you're looking at there. Really cool. Love how Gal Gadot really does embody the character of Wonder Woman. It's just, oh man, I'm so fanboying out about this movie. Anyway, on that note, you guys have a great one. I gotta go to work.